Alright, so hello everybody. That is the first podcast ever. If I had any sponsors, that would be their time at the moment, but I don't have any yet. So let's get started. I'm gonna present to you in a dialogue between two completely different parts, two different sub-personalities that I'm personally having a conflict in between. And I wanna pronounce out loud the whole conflict thing so I could leverage from that, and not also me, but you as well. I am a little bit nervous because, when it's all going on in my mind, I feel safe, protected by this nobody, nobody's knowing what I'm thinking about, and now I'm doing the podcast, which actually gets me inspired, and that's the topic of the podcast. So the question is, how do we know? Are we actually inspired, or are we trying to prove something to someone? How do we know whether it's a trauma or a real inspiration, and what is inspiration? So let's get clear on what do we have. Before we jump into this dialogue part, I want to acknowledge a couple of themes that should be explored in my personal point of view. So let's go. What is inspiration? Recently, I've been thinking about that a lot because I kind of lost this track of where should I go, what should I do, who the fuck am I, whatever. I'm sorry for my English, by the way, since it's my first trial, my first podcast. I haven't been recording in English in 4 years because I'm not living in an English-speaking country at the moment. So I beg my pardon. Anyway, so if it's relevant for you, share your story in the comments, whether you've ever been in this place of being lost in life, in yourself, where should I go and stuff, because that's where exactly I'm almost where I'm at now. So what is inspiration? In my personal point of view, inspiration is something that occurs when we are connected to the source energy, to let's say higher self, or whatever consciousness exists, which is way higher and wider than we are at the moment. So for example, if I always thought that making a lot of money was my goal, and I would dedicate a lot of things in my life to this goal, but it no longer gives me any energy, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, fuck me, I need to do all of this things again to just get whatever sum of money I want. I already don't really want them, so doesn't feel or sound like inspiration to me. And that's actually what led me here into recording this, even though I've had millions of reasons why not to do it. But that is exactly how the mind operates when an observer, an awareness, wants to switch to a higher level. That means for the mind, for the ego, oh my god, we're gonna change things up, it's gonna get uncomfortable, we're gonna spend a lot of energy, and that's really not what the mind wants. Actually, I'm in a marathon of walking at the moment, and today I've got to hit 20 kilometers, and my goal was to get in touch with what truly inspires me. And I felt really lost, before I hit the treadmill, I was like, damn, I don't know where should I go now, and all of that I've mentioned earlier. And then 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers, I'm like, damn, I gotta record this shit. And I didn't even think whether should I do or should I not do that, and I've just grabbed all the stuff for the recording, and here I am. And if you ask me how do I feel, I actually feel cool. I feel that's what drives me. I feel energy more than usual. So coming back to the question, what is inspiration? That is a state of being where you feel energized, or you feel connected to something more, to the vision of yourself, of your life, that doesn't exactly present you with pure details, but rather gives you like this state of mind, state of being where you want to do, where you want to create, act, co-create. And that feels pretty cool though. Uh, I was the second part where I want to jump into the the part that actually concerned me a lot for a couple of years, and now I feel like I feel a little bit I feel clearer on it. So I want to share it with you. If you have anything to add to it, or you think differently, please comment down below. I'm like literally eager to read all the comments, because I'm not hiding at the moment with what I'm saying, because that's what I usually did. And here comes the second part. I would share with people info or like my thoughts that would be convenient to the previous persona of me, that would seek validation, that would seek other people to buy from her or to accept her into their like circles, if you know what I mean. And now actually I'm saying out loud what I really think, and I feel vulnerable as fuck. And I actually am pretty sure that vulnerability comes as an inevitable part of inspiration. You can't act upon your inspiration without getting vulnerable, because inspiration, true inspiration, comes from the very nature of us, like this bigger consciousness, yeah, higher consciousness. It is our true nature, the source nature. And when we are acting from or speaking from that natural true part, that feels scary as shit to all the programs that have been there inside. Yeah, so I'm really like at the same time popped up at the moment and scared as well. So coming to the main part of the second part of the video, how do we know whether it's inspiration or trauma? As I mentioned before, if you're acting from the program, from the trauma, from the like place of not being aligned with who you are, your goals, your vision doesn't give you energy, or it gives you energy to do like some stuff, and when you've done that, you don't feel like fuck me, like that's the best thing in my life, and you're not happy in the way of like getting to it, you know. They say, people say like, you know, the result does not matter, what matters is the way. And it's true when it comes to authenticity. It doesn't really matter whether you get to the result of your vision or not, if you feel happy, fulfilled, content on the way. And that's how you recognize whether you're in a trauma or really inspired. I'm gonna check whether the picture and sound, everything is well. I'm gonna come back to you and present you with an inner dialogue.